we're gonna go ahead and take this thing out. I'm gonna keep this intro very short because we're supposed to have a lot of rain today, so I only got like maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if I'm lucky to ride this. And this is maybe 1 or 2 rides before we go down to Busco, so I gotta make sure this thing's running and working properly. So here we go. It's been so long since I've made a video. This is probably gonna be really awkward. So basically we have 1 hour roughly before I need to get out of here, and that is because of the storm that's rolling in. So I think, like I said, we're just gonna explore. The whole goal of this ride and or I guess this video is to make sure the Renegade is good to go for mud bash. That's pretty much it, because it literally has not been ridden in like 7 months or something like that. Oops. And to prove my point on that, I also didn't tighten the butt strap. That's fine. 93.1 miles and 12 hours. So yeah. Also, that time is wrong. It's actually like 12. Because it did rain this morning. I also like how I repainted that trailer for nothing. There's probably no one out here today, but a lot of the airsoft guys are here, so I don't know. The trail's gonna be just absolutely destroyed probably as well because of all the wind that we've had. Now I know they did some cleanup around here since the last time I was here, which again, about like 7 months ago, because they cleared out all this through here, because this used to be like very narrow through here. You used to not be able to even get through there really, except with like a dirt bike. That was about the only way you could get through. Like that mud hole's back. I thought they nosed that out, I guess not. Now this place can either be underwater or not. During this time of the year, typically this place is just underwater. Okay, it looks okay. It doesn't look bad. Like I said, we're just gonna ride around, kind of check some stuff out. There's no possible way I won't get muddy, but it's one of those things where it is what it is. So they're over there, which is pretty good. I can't say much about where I have and haven't been. I can't say much about that because, like, I mean, I haven't been riding because I've been focusing on, like, you know, my full-time job along with just a couple other things, you know, just some in-life stuff, I guess. But you also have to think about the fact of, like, you know, the weather, stuff like that. Like, I don't ride in the winter. I just don't. It's just hard on the machines, you know. I don't like it. It's miserable, so I just don't do it. And honestly, by the way, I'm surprised there's less mud here than I thought there would be. And a lot of this is probably still somewhat solid. Because, I mean, we are just now breaking into spring, so, like, none of this is really soft, at least yet. So, like, you can kind of just drive on top of it. Like, let's see how this feels. Yeah, see, even this is pretty, you know, it's not like that soft, you know. It's still pretty hard packed. Well, it makes for good drifting, though. Woo! It's getting hit by these big bumps. Because I am wearing my full fin trail gear, which shout out to Fin Trail. To, you know, Tarashi for the Aztec tires, and if you use my code, they'll pop up on screen. I'll also be in the link in the description down below. You should get 5% off any orders on the website, which brings up another point. Well, you can actually get through the pit now. Looks like they moved a lot of trees. That's gonna be cool. All right, I can't wait to do that. I wanted to point out is that what was I gonna say? With the new Tarashi tires, I'll try to pop a picture up on screen if I can remember to do it. With the new Tarashi tires, do I plan on testing them? Yes, I do. I don't know when. It's a matter of when they come out, but I plan on testing the 32s. I'm gonna skip over the 30s. It's just a personal preference thing for me, especially because that's the reason I hate assassinators, because they're too heavy and you have to cut them and modify them, and I don't believe that you should have to cut and modify a tire to make it work. I think that that's just kind of a little silly, but you know, we shouldn't have any problems getting through here. I did test my winch to make sure my winch works, so I gotta give the 1000 one thing. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it's an XMR. But this thing is just so playful, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, you could just throw it around and it's ridiculous. It really is. Like, it's honestly kind of nuts how much power it's got to be able to just toss anywhere you want. But you also have to remember that, like, this bike, mine in particular, is tuned. We also have a CV Tech primary, which I feel like is my favorite primary. I ran the QSC, and the QSC feels amazing. Like, the RMT feels awesome, but it doesn't have like that kind of snappy feeling of what you get from the CV Tech. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it doesn't have that snap factor. You know what I mean? Like, this thing, it feels almost like a Honda when it comes to throttle response, because it's so snappy. You almost forget that it's even belt drive. You know what I mean? All right, now how did I get up this last time? Because as far as I know, this is really hard to get up on a quad. I might end up going down where they are, honestly, because I don't want to take the risk of really flipping this thing before bus go. That would really suck. Uh-oh. It seems like our switch is glitching out. There we go. Okay. Back up just a hair. This is not a great spot to be in. There we go. I'm gonna have to take my goggles, put my goggles up for 2 seconds so I can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. There's a specific way that I try to get up this, because like trying to get up this just doesn't work. So if you can get up and angle it this way, it will crawl right up. But you have to get that angle first. It's the problem. Trying to get it is really hard, especially when it's slick like this. We're on mud tires, we're not on trail tires. There we go. Aztecs are really good tires, but much like any other mud tire, they suffer horribly when it comes to rock crawling. Like, they are not that great. But that's okay. I don't usually rock crawl, so it's not like that big of a deal for me. I want to see what this downhill looks like. I remember a dirt bike coming up this. Oh, this isn't bad at all. Well, heck, this is the way I should have came up, honestly. What way did they go? At least I know cooling wise this thing's doing pretty decent. Because usually I think typically it doesn't get above, yeah, it's for 189. Yeah, we typically don't get above 200 that often. Off a little bit. You want to let that mud kind of dry on there before you do that. Pretty deep for a damn dirt bike. Chinese things, they hate water, so. Soak our snorkel. No, that's just low range. We're good. The GoPro's still going? Yeah, it is. Holy crap. It might die soon. But hey. This mud hole is just freaking evil, and it has killed so many of my machines that it's ridiculous. And it's claimed a lot of other ones too. Oh, hello. The water runoff is just absolutely eroded this spot. I do wonder though. Holy crap. I know it was a shorter day, but if I knew that the storm was going to hold off, I would ride more. But I think that we're just going to end on a high note, because everything seems like it's working perfectly fine. And I'm really happy. I'm happy with how this thing performed. I think that's gonna be reliable enough for Busco. I think off the top of my head. I don't know. Like I said, we're gonna have to play the game and test it. I'm not sure, but ultimately, yeah, I'm very satisfied with it.